Hey out there, this is Buzz with the Survival Buzz. Just gonna give you guys a little glimpse of what I just killed in my yard. Yep, it is definitely snake season in Oklahoma, and he's just a little guy compared to some of them I kill around here. Caught this guy inside my chicken coop. Luckily, I got some pretty big chickens and a rooster in there, so I wasn't too worried about it. But figured I'd show you guys. So I hope everybody's faring well out there. I'm sure most of you have heard by now, we are officially in a recession. Well, depending on who you talk to. If you talk to old Uncle Joe, he's going to deny it, but we are in a recession. So I wanted to talk today about a topic that doesn't really get discussed a lot. There are some channels out there that do discuss it, and some that actually live it. Bear Independence One, it's a great channel. If you guys don't know about it, go over there and check him out. He's been doing it for years. I've been watching him for years, and guy knows what he's doing. But they do live it there as far as community and having, just camp set up, a bunch of like-minded people around to share the end of the world with, so to speak. But it doesn't really get talked about. It's not really a topic that a lot of people talk about. They talk about community and bartering and having friends, to help you defend the castle at the end of the world. But I mean, the reality of it is, it's not going to be like that, right? I mean, I hope not. It's not going to be like, sorry, these mosquitoes are eating me up. Let me walk over here. It's not going to be just hopefully not just an all-out war right off the bat. It's going to be a casual decline. So that being said, people need to get used to the idea of living with each other and forming small communities on, a set of property. Like, financially, the way things are going with the recession, the economy, inflation, everything, people losing jobs left and right, the way things like that, going on in the world right now, we need to embrace and get open to the idea of living around a bunch of people to help each other out. And I know that's easier said than done in today's world. I'm guilty as well, getting used to the modern conveniences and having all the space and all the things, right? And just being in your own little world. But I mean, the reality of it is, if it gets hard enough, we've got to lean on each other. We've got to learn to form community in small places and be able to survive and help each other out, not just, gardening and chickens and things like that, but just financially, if you have family or friends that lose their job and they have nowhere to go, you might want to help them out. I mean, I sure would, within reason, with whatever I'm capable of. Financially right now, we're not great, but we're making it, but I mean, if somebody came along that I loved, a family member or a good friend, I would want to help that person. So just with the infrastructure I have here with, some extra sheds and different things, like I could house a couple families if I really had to, Now, do I want to? No. I want all the space to myself, but we need to embrace and get used to the idea of maybe having to do that in the future, because I sure would want somebody to help me out if I needed it. If I needed somewhere to go and I had to flee this house, had to go somewhere, I would want people to accept me. And it doesn't have to just be the concept of things are falling apart and there's shots fired everywhere and we need to run over here to Bob's to hold up. It's not just like that. It can be just financial situations, people losing their job or home and needing a place to stay. There's a ginormous homeless rate out there, and just in Tulsa alone, I remember reading an article a while back in the Tulsa World that they're guesstimating from the day centers, and I guess the police actually go around and count people on the street to give a general idea of how many homeless people there actually are. But they claim that the homeless population in Tulsa has doubled just since last year. And I deal with it all the time. I work downtown doing security, and I see it every day. Homeless people, mentally ill people. Just a few days ago, next door from where I work, some maintenance people were stabbed by a homeless man that wasn't in his right mind. It happens. It's just all over the place. And those people, most of them didn't start out like that. They had nowhere else to go, and they're living on the street and doing drugs and whatever else. and they're losing their mind. And I sure wouldn't want my loved ones to have to live around that. So you need to embrace being able to help them. You know, I have enough property. I have like an acre and a half, and yeah, I don't have enough housing for everybody, but I have enough property that, you know, I could hold up quite a few tents if I really wanted to. So if I needed to help somebody, you know, they could help me out too, help me take care of everything out here, that sort of thing. But we all need to start getting used to the idea of that, and getting out of our comfort zone and possibly having to build a community, you know, a small village of people basically. Because we are all going to need somebody to lean on at some point, you know. And we can all pray at this point that things get better. But I mean, the reality of the situation is things are bad right now. And following the recession, you know, I would assume that a depression is soon to follow, and it's going to be like anything, not like anything you've ever seen. It's not going to be like the Great Depression. You know, back then, people halfway lived off the land anyways. They knew how to can, they knew how to hunt, they knew how to pluck chickens, and you know, all the things. Now, most people can't heat something up if there's not instructions on it or a microwave. So that's where we're at, when people can't afford to eat and they have nowhere to go, and they can't even feed themselves with basic things. So just food for thought, something to think about. As always, like this video and subscribe if you like what you hear, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Later.